So we're just in Japan. Japan would be my favorite destination I've ever been. This is my fourth, I believe it's my fourth or fifth time to Japan. Basically Tokyo and Hamamatsu. I visited once the Satoshi brothers in Hamamatsu. Hamamatsu, I think, is the place in the world with more Brazilian immigrants than anywhere else. And I believe Sao Paulo has more Japanese immigrants than anywhere else in the world. They have like this worker transfer. So I believe that's why you'll see a lot of Japanese people in Brazil, a lot of mixed Japanese, Brazilian people around the world and stuff, which is pretty cool. Pretty cool trade. You know, the Satoshi brothers and stuff living in Hamamatsu. If you guys are new to the sport, go back and watch Roberto Satoshi highlights. That guy's incredible.
Yeah.
And it's really good MMA fighter.
He's still fighting MMA, right?
Fights for Ryzen, yeah. Ryzen. I think pursuing the money in Ryzen. Sadly, Ryzen never gave me the Gabby Garcia call.
Oh, fuck.
But I hold out hope, nevertheless. Yeah. But yeah, I'm trying to think. Japan is the best. One time I competed in Quintet on a Wednesday, and I competed in New York on the Saturday. And I tell you what, if you fly from Tokyo to New York, you think you're entering a third world country. Like the contrast of how polite, kind people are, at least superficially in Japan, as opposed to New York, is crazy. Like New York, if you get to a counter and you don't know what you want, they'll tell you to go fuck themselves. In Japan, like you could leave your wallet on the street and no one would steal it for days. You know, like it's just absolutely insane. The food, Japan, best food really I've ever had in the world. They even get the coffee right, which most American places unfortunately don't do. I don't complain about that anymore though, because every Australian that comes to America has the same statement. Oh, the coffee's way better back home. It's like, fuck. It's like it's the most sort of unoriginal shit. Even though we all do it, we come here and critique the coffee. Unfortunately, enough of us critique it. No American ever learns how to make it, you know.
Or you could be like me, you don't drink it at all, then you don't have to critique anything.
That's true. You're addicted to other things, mate.
A lot of things.
Yeah, but yeah, Japan's the best fucking place. We got to do some really cool shit out in Japan, outside of obviously being a part of Quintet. So like we got to go into the sumo stable.
Oh yeah.
Which is a super privileged experience. Like I saw some people on the internet being like, yo, I want to do that when I go to Japan. We only got to do that because Hyson Reed is like a celebrity out there. He had a sumo wrestling match against the proper pro sumo. He got his ass kicked.
Oh, wow.
But he created the connection. I'm trying to remember the sumo guy's name, but he's a Mongolian sumo who's considered the greatest sumo wrestler in history. And obviously that's a sport that spans so long. But we went to his stable and got to see how the training session ran. And then we got to participate a bit at the end. So when the stable master was there was no joking around. Like we couldn't be idiots at all. But as soon as he left for the day, it was free game. We got to go get into the outfits and stuff and have a good time with the sumo guys. But yeah, those guys are massive. Like the guy I was wrestling with was 370 pounds.
So the guy you fucking did the leg lock on?
Yeah, did the leg lock on. And again, I was shocked because I was just like, yo, fuck it. Let's see if they're keen for this. Yeah. And they were down for it.
That's so funny.
So, I mean, that place during the training session, there was no joking around. One guy was late and the stable master was like, don't ever be late again or I'll kill you. And we were like, fuck, brings me back to DDS memories, you know? But that was a crazy experience. We did the sumo stuff. We went down, we showered with him. Felt inadequate, obviously. But yeah, it was also, we didn't get to see the sumos go live for 3 times a year for over a 2-week period. They compete every day, sumo championships. But again, the stable we went to, the stable master is the greatest ever. I think he's got over 1,000 victories.
Oh, shit.
I think it's 1,000 victories in like 1,100 matches. And he's got like the second longest winning streak ever in terms of consecutive matches, like just top tier. And again, we're not talking jiu-jitsu where the record books go to 1996. We're talking hundreds of years of sumo wrestling. It was good to feel them too, like, because it's like, obviously they look fat, but they're actually fucking...
They gotta be strong as fuck.
Crazy strong.
Yeah.
So we got to give props to Hyson for arranging that. I was actually quite hungover the day we did it. And I've been having some shoulder troubles. And when we did some training drill where the guy was like, yo, push this 370-pound guy across the sand pit, I injured my shoulder immediately. I was like, that's a bad mistake. But other cool shit we got to do in Japan, obviously buying the used panties.
Yeah. So what was that like? Because that's been blowing up on the internet.
Yeah, so that's now my most viewed Instagram reel ever. We had the steroids and autism bit, but now the used panties have surpassed it. And what's crazy is this is like this thing it's like a donkey show in Mexico. Everyone's like, is it real? Isn't it real? Some YouTube vloggers and stuff say it's absolutely not real. I can say for a fact that you can still buy used panties in multiple destinations. The place we went to was like a 6-story sex store.
Yeah.
And the panty options were like 2 days, period blood. I don't want to say what the third one is because this video could get demonetized. But I thought it was all funny, you know, like I put in 1,000 yen, the panties come out. I smell them immediately. I smell them. They smell pretty funky. That was a sincere reaction, you know. Not a good
smelled
actor.
that before.
And then we took him outside, and Hal was like, "Yo, open them up right now." And I'm like, "Bro, we're in front of a Starbucks. Like, there's a bunch of Japanese people looking at me." And then I opened the thing, and I realized, wow, they're sealed in a plastic thing, and they still smell that strong.
Oh fuck.
So I open up the plastic, and bro, these things smell potent, right? Interesting thing about Japan as well, plays in this story, is there's no trash cans anywhere. It's so hard to find a trash can. A lot of the times vending machines will have a little one next to it, but man, like there's no trash on the streets anywhere at all, but there's no trash cans. There's a reverse correlation between garbage cans and garbage on the streets.
So what do people do? Do people just don't carry stuff?
They either drink it, dispose of it straight away.
Right away.
Like it's real strange. Like you'd be in a hotel lobby, you can't find it. So imagine I've opened these panties. They smell terrible. The bag, they came out of this small Ziploc bag. There's no way I was going to attempt to put them fully back in the bag because I would have to touch the period blood stains on the underwear. So I'm carrying this around in this humid heat. These things have been marinating in the vending machine for God knows how long. And bro, it's like, it's around me was smelling. It was fucking singeing my nostrils, eh? And like I thought it'd be funny for content. Like, oh, what if I throw these at Nicky Ryan? But they smelled so bad that I was like, yo, that could end a friendship.
Yeah,
you know?
he's fucking done with you.
Like, that's not a fucking laughing matter, eh? So I held on to these things for like 15 minutes. Eventually went into like this electronics store and I threw them in the trash can that was in the bathroom. But that was also, that's just so bizarre.
Oh
People
my God.
criticize, like this Japan sex store had so much strange stuff. Like you wouldn't believe. They got weird like tentacle porn and stuff. They got a lot of pocket pussies. A lot of pocket pussies over there. They had the Tenga. It'd be good if we got sponsored by Tenga, actually. These things were everywhere. I personally have never tried one.
You'll never see me on the seat again. I'll have something to do now.
I think, you know what? A single-use pocket pussy is allowed. You know, you tell me you got a single-use one, but you tell me you're fucking a pocket pussy reusing it, I'm looking at you different, you know? I'm all for the single-use one.
I asked Jay, because the first day he came back, of course we asked him, and he was like, oh yeah, we went to the sex shop, and he's like, it's like 6 floors or whatever. First floor, anal. Second floor, I don't remember. And he's like, I was just stuck on floor 1. So I found that shit so fucking funny. He must have had a fucking great time.
Dude, that store, it had blowjob machines and stuff like that.
Jesus.
Wild stuff,
Like
stuff.
in the store, they had or
they
for you to
sold
take
them.
home.
Yeah,
Okay,
they had a crazy bunch of sex stuff. Man, everyone's got to go. Yeah, I can't emphasize, obviously it's a bad time to bring that up. I can't emphasize enough how cool this place is to check out. But that was that's 6 stories of sex toys.
Jesus.
So it's like, it went deep. Mostly for dudes, but yeah, tons of very bizarre stuff. Like Japan loves their porn over there. So they got a bunch of molded pocket pussies based on Japanese porn stars.
Really?
Of course, me being such a pure soul, didn't recognize any names whatsoever. And then the other thing we did out there, we went to the Muscle Girl Bar.
Oh yeah.
So this is a place, they're called girl bars. You got host bars where girls will go pay money to drink with guys that are basically flirting with them for money. Girl bars, basically the same thing with women, which to me again shows the difference in culture because I couldn't imagine paying to talk to a woman. You know, like I thought you would probably pay for the opposite sort of treatment. You know, but
That's so funny.
But the muscle bar was an interesting one because these girls were pretty jacked, like jacked compared to you per se. You know,
I mean, jack compared to fucking any female that I've ever seen, but yeah.
But they were squeezing grapefruits, and then they do some weird shit like that. You'd pay to, and they kick in the butt. Or slap in the face.
Slap the shit out of you like the video?
So I got up, took my shirt off, put money in my mouth, and was hoping they'd slap the shit out of me. One of them got me a good one, but the rest of them were pretty weak.
Are they holding back?
Yeah, they didn't go too crazy. I wanted them to though, you know. I was about to start saying some racist shit, you know.
Dana White has a whole pool of fucking athletes now for the slap league and shit now.
Dude, now that is something I'd pay to watch. But yeah, we were out. We're seeing some of the darkness. You know, we're out in Shinjuku. Shinjuku has a lot of weird shit. A lot of weird. You know, that's the thing with Tokyo, right? Is all these places, like they're not necessarily on Google Maps and stuff. Like there might be a Japanese version, but you just walk the street, and in the space of even if you're in New York, there might be 5 different entrances, different places, bars, restaurants and stuff. In Tokyo, it would be like 20. You know, they build these 5-story buildings where every floor has maybe 1 to 2 or 3 different stores. Like, so there's just so much variety. It's like, it's endless. Like you walk through Shinjuku, you could see absolutely anything going on in these buildings at any time. Like it's so dense. One of the places we went to would be the coolest bar I've ever been to. We went to this bar. It had no advertising. We just walked past. We're like, what's this? Go inside, and it's this crazy cocktail bar where it's just one guy in there. And he's playing records. You can only sit at a table of up to 2 people. No large groups. Real chill vibe. And there's no menu. You just tell him. He'll just ask you some questions about what type of drinks you like, and he'll just whip something up.
Oh, shit.
So he's in there hand-shaving ice cubes to perfectly fit the glasses and stuff. It's like the level of service in Japan is wild. Everyone takes their job so seriously, does such a good job. Like no one in Japan feels like they're above the job they do. Like if you go to a 7-Eleven, that person takes such pride in that 7-Eleven. Like they just do such a good job. It's so clean. They take such good care of it and such pride in it. As opposed to like, I mean, I don't want to shit on other places. I'm just saying how it's different. Yeah. But like you might go to a place, you go to a CVS here, and the guy that works there just fucking hates his job. Yeah. Doesn't want to do his job. You really don't see a lot of that in Japan. They might hate it, but they keep it to themselves and do such an incredible job. But yeah, so much stuff to do out there. You couldn't even begin to scratch the surface of what sort of crazy stuff you could do.
You guys went for just what, like a week?
Yeah, we went for a week. We had to get our entertainment visa, so we're meant to go a bit earlier than Quintet, but then it took a while to get the entertainment visa, so we basically arrived, had to cut weight and compete straight away. Obviously, we're there for Quintet. But the funny thing is like another thing that Japan's has a rich history in sort of blocking is people with tattoos. Because tattoos are so synonymous with Yakuza over there. Like it's synonymous with the criminal element. That there's certain things you can't do. It's becoming much looser now. I was there 10 years ago. I didn't have visible tattoos then, only the rib piece. But now, like over the course of the trips, like one of the trips I was there with Gregor Gracie, and we went to a hot spring. So a hot spring, you walk in, have all these different bars, saunas, steam room, like this wild experience. But we went in and we kept, you're meant to be naked. They want you to be naked. It's strange. You're not allowed to wear swimsuits or anything like that, right? So we went in, I kept my rash guard on because I was trying to hide my tattoo. The guy's like, yo, take your rash guard off. And then he saw that I had the rib piece and they're like, yo, get out of here. Oh, wow. Kicked us out straight away. Gregor has tattoos, so they kicked him out too. This time, we were jet lagged. We had to cut weight that day, right? So this is a fucking stupid story. So we're up at like 4 a.m. It's me, Joseph, and Nikki Ryan. And we're sitting there in a 7-Eleven. We're having a coffee in a can. We're thinking about how we're going to cut weight that day. We're going to train. What are we going to do? I get on Google. I see a hot spring that's open 24 hours. It says foreigner friendly. We can cover your tattoos with stickers. Oh. So I was like, fuck yeah, 4 a.m. Let's give that a crack. So we go there. Luckily, Joseph's friend, Lynn, speaks Japanese. So he was able to talk to the person at the front desk. And they gave us stickers to cover our tattoos. But I had to pretend I didn't have the rib piece because they were like only $3 stickers to cover the ink you have, right? So Nicky's got a full sleeve. Joseph's got tattoos all over him. So luckily we got in, we paid our way. At this point, we had told J-Rod and Nicky Rod, yo, come to this place when you wake up. They woke up, they're on their way. We get in there, we stick the stickers on, we start cutting weight. It was perfect to cut weight because the bars were so hot. They had some minerals in there that drain the sweat easy. So we're cutting weight, and then Lynn walks in with J-Rod. So there's only 4 of us in there. And we're like, yo, what happened? Where's Nicky Rod? And he goes, so we're at the front desk, and she says to Nicky Rod, do you have tattoos? And sees his arm. And she goes to hold up the sticker to his arm to see if it covers the tattoo.
Yeah.
And then he just flexes as hard as he can, making the tattoo bigger. And she's like, nah, leave, get the fuck. So I don't know if she was just like, this guy's a fucking asshole.
Yeah.